Alright, everybody, it's Jay Baldy. I have a special guest tonight. I have Cowan. Darren Cowan. He is the Metalegion magazine writer. He is a heavy music headquarters writer. He works for Shapeshifter RP. And he has
Shapeshifter
PR. And he has a band. Mr. Darren Cowan, what is the name of your band, sir?
Skotose.
Skotose is the name of his band. Would you like to introduce yourself, Mr. Darren Cowan?
Well, you pretty much got it. I mean, I've been a heavy metal and hard rock journalist for 18 years. I'm a former English teacher. I'm a master of karate. I study Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai. I study Judo and Kung Fu. I have a band called Skotose, which is Greek for kill. It's a black metal band. I play bass and I write lyrics.
You've been writing for how long for Metalegion?
Metalegion, that is about, well, really I've only been in one issue. I'll be in the next issue. I have an interview with Testament. That should be the cover band, I would think. I mean, it's Testament. They're huge.
So you're part of the #1 metal band in the United States. Is that what I'm hearing?
I wish.
Well, you're part of one of the metal bands for here in Texas. Is that correct? So you've been writing for heavy metal for how long, sir?
18 years.
18 years.
I started in the fall of 2004. My first band that I interviewed was the Black Dahlia murder, and that singer recently passed. He committed suicide.
So what have you been doing for the past 18 years? Can you go about your history of what it is that you've been up to?
Done pretty much everything you can think of in the rock industry. As a journalist, I do album reviews, I interview bands, publish news, written features. I've had 2 columns. I have a column right now, a black metal column. Also, I've done security work, and I've worked as a stagehand. That is, let's see, what else? Photography. Yeah, I'm a photographer too.
What do you want in your goals in life when you ask me something like that?
Well, I want to make some money. I mean, I haven't been able to make a lot of money. I mean, I live off a disability on SSI for Crohn's disease, and I don't even want to talk about the rest of my illnesses because people just don't understand them, and I don't want to publish that. I've been on disability since 2005. I mean, I was disabled when I was teaching, and I would get sick and have to go home, and but I was substitute teaching, and you don't get days off. If you take a day off, you don't get paid. So I had to go, and I would go on a full-blown Crohn's attack, and if I could make it past lunch, I could get paid for a full day. And usually that's about after lunch is when I throw up and they send me home.
So what exactly have you been up to? Other than you've been writing, what has your band been doing? Let me ask you that.
Well, we aren't really a band because first of all, I'll go into some history of us. We decided to form the band, me and this dude from Taylor, December of 2018. We got together and we composed songs, and I wrote lyrics, and then we got a drummer. He was with us for a few months, and he didn't like the dude's playing, so he quit. And then COVID hit my partner for a few months, and then he shows up and said, well, you were singing, I want to sing now. So he took over singing, and we changed the lyrics. I completely rewrote like 6 songs. And then we got a drummer. We recorded at his place. He's got a studio. He recorded it. He produced it, put MIDI on there. He did the drums. And then, again, got mad at him. I shouldn't even, but mad at him because he wanted to put out a demo. So they split there, and we split. And then a few months went by, and I said, dude, we recorded all these tracks. We have an album. Just talk to Nick and, see if he'll mix and master it. So he did. And then Nick sent us the mix and master. And the mix and master, our guitarist and singer did not like it because there was too much keyboards. I took notes, and I was like, well, he only needs to take a couple parts out. But he had mixed it 12 times. It was mastered. And so what it takes the unmastered version and sends it to Greece to get mastered for $500. So, okay, that's going on. we're getting it mastered, so we need to start promoting. Now, I'm a promoter. I've had my Shapeshifter PR for almost a dozen years. And I said, well, I want to start a Twitter page. And he said no, because the original plan was we get a video and then we get going. And I said, yeah, but every day that we're not online is a day people don't know the name skotose. So I went ahead and did it, and then he come at me and said, you're fired. And we went at it, like we were just going at it. And I was like, hey, bro, you don't know anybody in this industry. I know everybody. I will bury your ass, and he was like, well, yeah, go for it, buddy. And I was like, yeah, and he talked shit at me. And I said, I'm a 4th degree black belt and I'll kick your ass. And he didn't want none of that. He was just bluffing. So, I've gone on and made 2 demos and I promoted them. They've done extremely well because I'm a good promoter. Put up imposter social media pages, copy me, and he's gone behind my back and contacted Facebook friends. He even contacted an ex-girlfriend and told her I was stalking her, and then he's still doing that. He contacted one of my clients and made a video and said, well, you better be aware of me. And the guy said, well, fuck you, dude. I got paid to make a friggin' video. That's all I give a shit about. So, I don't know what to do about the guy, if I should get like a PPO against him or just like hunt him down and kick his ass. I don't know, but he's fucking with my life. I told him, I said, dude, you can take me to court. You're going to lose, and I'm going to countersue you, and I'm going to take your house. And I haven't heard anything since then. That is the history of skotose. Skotose is a band with a lot of members with mental health problems, including me. We sing songs about serial killers. I think Carl has it in him to be a serial killer based on his past and the way he treats people. Lives in a dilapidated house that's just totally falling apart. He's a drug addict. He's an alcoholic. He's a narcissist. Immeasurable loss in his life. He only has one family member left, and she's estranged from him, his daughter. Brother died, his dad died, his mom died. He's all by himself. I guess he likes being by himself because he betrays all his friends. So that's it with skotose. I would like to talk about our music. I think if you like black metal and you like serial killers and darkness and Satan and murder, suicide, all the negativities of life, and you like the harmonies of black metal and you like the speed of black metal and the just the extreme cold evilness, then you will dig skotose. I think we're one of the best black metal bands in the state, if not in the country. We've been around. We aren't really a band, but we started 4 years ago, so it's not like we're newcomers. It's just that it took us this long to get anything done. And another thing that I did to him is I went ahead and made demos, and I put them online, and they've done extremely well. Recorded, I burned a bunch of CDs and had them out at concerts. I'm doing the legwork. He doesn't know what to do. He has no clue. But no, skotose, Bandcamp, skotose 666. We got an album cover with Charles Manson on it. It's called In Celebration of Your Demise. It's a 3-song tape riff. And there's a song I wrote about Charles Manson called In Celebration of Demise. It's about his life. It's about his viewpoint of the world. Because I write serial killer stuff from the first person. I don't do it from viewpoint of, say, a cop or whoever. I do it from the serial killer based on quotes and things they've done. I wrote a song about the Zodiac Killer called King of Human Sacrifice. I wrote a song about the Night Stalker Richard Ramirez. It's called Raped by Nocturnal Manifestations. I did a song about Albert Fish, really, really sick person, called Implements of Hell. And I did a song about Manson. And then I also have we have a song about the suicide forest in Japan called Impale Forest. I wrote a song about what happens after death called The Light Shall Die. I wrote a song about mania called Spirit of Madness, and we have a great video on it made by Craig Rossi, who I'm doing press for, and it's just a brilliant video. This guy, he plays all his own instruments, and he makes his own videos, and he makes super professional quality videos. They're eye-catching. So that's what's up,
Oh yeah, that sounds pretty good. Where can we get your music from?
Bandcamp, skotose 666, Twitter. Don't go to the Facebook one. That's an imposter one run by a former guitarist and singer. And he's such a jerk. First of all, he founded the band with me. I wrote the majority of the lyrics. I play bass. He put up there on the Facebook that he has a copyright, and he doesn't. I actually did a copyright on the lyrics. He can copyright his shitty guitar riffs. I don't know. Long Pig, the drummer, you know, he did more than all of us. He spent countless hours recording and editing and producing, and he put MIDI on there, and he played drums. You know, I mean, we went to his house and practiced every fucking week. And just because he wanted to put out a demo, Carl got mad and fired him. I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm sorry. He pisses me off, but everything I've said is truth, so he can't say I'm slandering him.
So who are some of the bands that you've covered?
Oh, I don't know. Shit, man, hundreds.
Who are some of your favorites? Who are your personal favorites that you covered?
I thought it was really cool when I interviewed Short from Emperor. Then I thought it was really cool when I interviewed Chris Cafferty, who played in Sabotage and is a lead guitarist in Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I've interviewed Five Finger Death Punch. I've interviewed Rob Zombie's bassist. I've interviewed Sam Hain. I've interviewed Doyle from the Misfits. I've interviewed Stained. I've interviewed Cannibal Corpse. I've interviewed Burzum, Mayhem. I could go on all day long, man. I've interviewed hundreds.
What are the kind of things that you do when you do the interviews? Like the kind of questions that you ask them?
Usually I try to focus on what's currently going on, and that usually means an album or a tour.
So you met a lot of people then, huh?
Oh, yeah. I have thousands of contacts, man. I went to a show a couple nights ago, and the band knew me. And even though they were from Norway, they knew me by first and last name.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm friends with the godfather of death metal, Jeff Becerra from Possessed, you know. I talk to him sometimes. I used to talk to Chris Barnes, who was in 6 Feet Under, ex-Cannibal Corpse. He was in the movie Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
So what are some of the things that have happened in your life that you think is pretty interesting?
That I think is what?
That is very interesting. Amongst all the interesting things that you've actually like, wow, I can't believe that really happened.
Ooh, that's a pretty heavy question. I mean,
well, like, do you have any stories you would like to give? If you're willing to give any stories.
In the music industry?
Yeah, just in general that pertains to you.
Well, let's see, I've got a lot of stories. I don't know if it's. I could talk about my favorite concert, and that was Black Sabbath. The first time I saw Black Sabbath, I played with Motorhead and Morbid Angel, and that was a really wild show. I mean, like, chicks were, you know, flipping their titties out, and it was awesome. You know, I mean, that 11th grade year was probably my favorite year for shows. And then also I went to the Milwaukee Metal Fest 3 years and saw a bunch of, you know, rare stuff like Emperor's first show in the States, Mayhem first show, Impaled Nazarene first show. I saw Death Before Chuck Died. I saw Merciful Fate, Suffocation. It goes on and on and on. I saw Acid Bath twice, and a lot of people, Acid Bath never became popular until after they split up because their bassist died. Then their guitarist went on to play in Crowbar, eventually Gohor. Bassist is a friend of mine from Austin named Trans Am, you know, and I met him when they were on probably their first major tour with DRI, and I'm talking about Sammy from Gohor. You know, he was playing with Acid Bath then. He showed me Cradle of Filth, and you know, I've known him ever since then. He knows who I am. I'm not exactly buddies with him, but he knows who I am.
Yeah, did you have anything else you would like to mention or talk about before we close out?
Well, Shapeshifter PR, you know, I've kind of laid skotose to rest for a while because I wrote a lot of press releases on them, did a lot of press. Right now I'm doing press for Craig Rossi. Craig Rossi is well known. He's in a melodic death doom band called Drift into Black. He used to be the keyboardist for Gray Skies Fallen. And now he's got a sci-fi ambient project called Days in the Abyss. Now, he compares his music, his synths, and all that, the soundtrack music to Hans Zimmerman, who did Gladiator and The Martian and a whole bunch of movies. What it is, there's no lyrics. It's all ambient music. And what he did is it's a concept album, the EP. It's about a space probe that goes to a new planet, and each day is a new log. And the way he tells the story is through videos. And so each week, I released a new video. We released a new video to the press and to the public, and I have to plug it for him. So that's what's going on. Days in the Abyss, Drift into Black, Gray Skies Fallen. Check out Craig Rossi. You know, you're looking for some graphic work, some video work, some, you know, you want to put together an album cover, talk to that guy. You know, that guy is like, he just blows my mind.
So do you have any like future works that you're doing right now that you want to let everybody know?
I started writing my first book. That's a book on, well, I grew up in Michigan, and Michigan, a lot of people don't know, but Michigan has the earliest black metal scene in America and one of the earliest black metal scenes in the world. And I grew up with these bands, and I didn't even realize in 1994 I was witnessing black metal. I just thought it was death metal, you know, because black metal was not known then. I think it was around 94 is when the Lords of Chaos stuff happened. Have you ever seen the movie Lords of Chaos?
I've seen it, yes. I've seen it once.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, 1994 is when Mayhem released De Mysterious without Uramis because he was murdered by his bandmate Bark, who has the ambient band Burzum. Masochist started in 91 before any of that stuff happened, you know, like when Mayhem was, they didn't have an album out. All they had was a demo or EP, Death Crush. So it's a big deal to me because I live near Jackson, Michigan, and there's a town, it's called Munith, where I went to elementary school. I lived in Munith, a lot of friends in Munith. They would come play black metal shows out in the middle of nowhere in Munith. And Lucifer's Hammer was the first black metal band I ever saw, and they played the Munith Legion Hall, and they actually put out a record live at the Munith Hall, which blows my mind because, I mean, this is in the middle of nowhere. Nothing, like dirt roads and woods. And here we go. We got this black metal band that's probably the earliest black metal band in America playing my hometown. I didn't even know, but I bought their demo, and it, you know, it took some listens, but then I was like, wow, this is genius. And so there's 4 black metal bands that consisted of the Maid scene in mid-Michigan, Jackson Lansing area. There was the first one, Lucifer's Hammer, then there was Masochist, then there was Summon, and then there was the Wind of the Black Mountains. So I'm going to gathering information. I'm talking to some of these guys. I can't talk to the lead singer of Masochist and Wind of the Black Mountains because he's dead. I mean, it's just this, like I said in my intro, I said, welcome to the Lords of Chaos, Michigan style, because, you know, all the shit that was going in Lords of Chaos they were doing, they were cutting themselves. They just played the most evil, vile shit you've ever heard, like most evil shit ever made. It's a very interesting topic to me because I think last year or the year before, Decibel Magazine released a book by Daniel Lake, USBM, which is the acronym for United States Black Metal. And these bands were kind of, I don't know, I haven't read the book, I heard it sucks, but, you know, these bands kind of are glossed over, you know, they're in the book. So my book focuses exclusively on mid-Michigan black metal.
All right, everybody. We took some time. We got to know everything about Mr. Darren Cowan. Is that correct? Cowan. Darren Cowan.
Just like it's spelled.
Yes, sir. All right, this is Planet Texas. Did you like to sign off? Do you want to say anything before we go?
I would say, skotose, bitches.
Skotose, bitches.